What up, gang? Welcome to the channel. Back with another video, man. Just getting off work, as you can see. Still in that Gordon Food Service attire. But I wanted to come through real quick, man, and make this video. Talking about working 12-hour shifts, man. And how a lot of guys, truckers in particular, feel about 12-hour shifts. So I was watching the video a few days ago, and let me go back this way. I was watching the video a few days ago, and I seen where somebody made a comment, and they were like, what trucking jobs are out there that don't require you to work 12-hour shifts? And I'm paraphrasing because he said a lot, but that's the gist of what he said. He wanted to know what trucking jobs were available where he could only work, or where he would be able to work less than 12 hours. And there was somebody else that replied to his comment and was like, you probably don't need to do trucking. And I thought the interaction between the two people was interesting, man. So that same comment is a comment that I've kind of received on my channel too. I've received similar comments about guys not too fond of working the 12-hour days. As a matter of fact, the other night, actually it was last night, I went in my YouTube studio. For those of you that don't know, YouTube Studio is basically the back office for content creators. It's a feature that allows us content creators to really check out analytics for our channel and just different metrics and things of that nature. And you can also filter your comments based on a particular keyword. So I'm like, you know what? I've received comments similar to that. Let me look at some of these comments about 12-hour shifts and kind of see, you know, what some of these other guys were saying. So I filtered the comments, and of course I found a bunch of comments where people were talking about not wanting to work the 12-hour shifts. So I'm gonna share one comment. Now this came off one of my videos. I'm gonna put it on the screen so you guys can see it. But let me read it to you, man. It says, those 12-hour day driving jobs suck. Find a company where you average 10 hours a day. You don't have a life working 12 or more hours a day, 5 days a week. It's not bad if you are working 12-hour days or 12 hours a day if it's a 4-day work week. So, as you guys just saw and heard, that's pretty much the sentiment from a lot of truck drivers when it's pertaining to the 12-hour shifts, man. And I just want to share my thoughts on it. So, like that guy said earlier, or the person who responded to that other person that said, you may not want to get into trucking. I kind of feel the same way to a certain degree. I won't necessarily go to that extent and say you may not want to get into trucking, but I will say, if you don't want to work 12-hour shifts in trucking, you are really going to limit your options when it comes to the companies that are available to you. You may not work 12 hours a day every day of the week, but man, it's probably gonna be hard to find some companies where you don't have to work 12 hours at all. So the first thing you definitely need to do is your due diligence. Before you apply for any job, you need to find out the hours, the shift. Like, for example, I can tell you straight up, and this for anybody who has concerns about 12-hour shifts, I could tell you straight up, if you are interested in food service, beverage, fuel hauling, don't do it. If you don't want to work a 12-hour day, disregard those trucking jobs. Because it is very common and typical to work a 12-hour day doing those jobs. You may not work 12 hours every day, but 98% of the time, you're gonna work a 12-hour day. So understand that. But here's the thing. A lot of guys want to get in the industry and they want to make all this money, 6-figure salaries. I can tell you that a lot of the top earners in trucking, and now I'm speaking on company drivers. That's what I'm talking about. This video is really pertaining to company drivers. Let me just establish that, because a lot of people like to take certain things that I say and create their own narrative and run with it. I'm speaking on company drivers in particular, W-2 employees. If you want to get into something like fuel hauling, for example, most fuel haulers have 12-hour shifts. Let's use Gemini Motor Transport, for example, which is a company that I've expressed interest in. I've said if I ever were to leave food service, fuel hauling would probably be something that I would go into, and specifically with that particular company. I know they work 12-hour shifts, so I know what the expectations are going into it. And I think that's one of the most important things you guys gotta understand. You have to have realistic expectations. That's with any job you plan on pursuing, or any job that you're interested in. I think a lot of you guys have some very unrealistic expectations. I also think a lot of you guys, when you apply for these jobs and you go on these interviews, a lot of you aren't asking the right questions. Some of you aren't asking any questions. But you need to be asking questions like, what hours will I be working? If it's not already in the job posting. Like, how many hours a week on average do, drivers work here? Something along those lines. You guys aren't answering those questions, man. Now, I know Somebody in the comments is probably gonna say, man, these companies be lying to you. They'll tell you one thing in the interview process, and then when you actually start working for the company, it's not what it turns out to be. I see that a lot too. Look, I'm not here to say that you guys aren't telling the truth. I'm not in the interview, so I don't know, what companies are telling you guys. But if that's the case and you're not happy with your situation, then that's on you to pivot and make a decision on whether or not you want to stay with that company if you can't tolerate your situation and what's going on. Good morning, how you doing? But when it comes to trucking, man, again, you gotta know what job you're signing up for, man. A lot of local trucking jobs in particular, you're gonna work a 12-hour day. But that doesn't mean you can't have a life, man. Check this out. That doesn't mean you can't have a life. As a matter of fact, I know I'm gonna have some fuel haulers that watch this video. Probably gonna have some food service guys and beverage guys and LTL, OTR. Some of you guys watching this video, you guys work 12-hour shifts. Let me know what kind of life you have. There's gonna be some people in the comments that's gonna tell you that they have a life. There's probably gonna be some that tell you they don't have a life. We'll just have to see. Man, it's all about time management as well. Prioritizing your time, man. We all got the same 24 hours in the day. If you're working 12 hours a day, that's 60 hours a week. What is it, 168 hours in a week? Obviously, you got to factor in some sleep time, but time management, man. I'm telling you, it could be done. Plenty of people work 60 hours a week that still manage to find time to do things and enjoy themselves and enjoy life. So again, the people who feel that way about 12-hour shifts, look, I'm not here to tell you you're wrong by feeling that way. I get it. But a lot of people that work 12-hour shifts, a lot of them look forward to it because obviously overtime. And if you're getting time and a half, if you're making a decent hourly wage, a lot of people look forward to the overtime. They want to make more money. And that's the way to do it. So, it's all about perspective. Working those hours could be, a good thing for some people. And for others, it could be bad, right? You're always going to have people to say, look, man, it's not all about the money. I don't want to work that many hours. That's cool. Then you know what you got to do. If you're working a job where you're working that many hours, you need to switch it up. Find something else. A lot of those six-figure earners in trucking, W-2 employees, you best believe they're working those 12 hours. They're getting that overtime. I seen somebody else make a comment and was like, they were commenting on pay. Somebody had, I think it was a video where I was sharing somebody's pay or something like that. And they made some really good money. And one of the comments was, Yeah, I bet they work 12 to 14 hours a day to get that kind of pay. Again, probably so. Yeah, they probably did. But, you know, that's one of the sacrifices that you're making for working that, you know, working those hours. It just boils down to, what are you guys looking to get out of trucking? What's the goal? What's the financial goal? Because if you're working a W-2 job, it's what we call active income. You're trading time for money. So if you have a financial goal, you're trying to make a certain amount of money, maybe working those hours could benefit you. If you don't really care about that, then that's a different story. But you got to figure out, what is your goal? What's the plan? People count on that overtime. A lot of people want that overtime. It is what it is, man. It's in trucking, you get out what you put in. I'm not necessarily saying that you got to work all these hours to make decent money. But if you do work those hours, oftentimes, if you with a good company, you got a good wage, you're gonna make some money. That's just what it is. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. If I'm being 100% transparent, I haven't worked a 12-hour shift in I don't know how long. It's definitely been over 2 years. If I'm being totally honest and transparent, I can't tell you the last time I worked 11-hour shift. But, you know, that's all kind of due to the route I have. It's all due to the route. I mean, I got a pretty nice route, so it works for me. But will I be opposed to working a 12-hour shift if the money's right? No. Again, I said that Gemini Motor Transport, hauling fuel, is a job that I would do. So obviously, if I'm open to doing that type of job, I'm open to working that 12-hour shift, because to me, I feel like it's gonna pay off. In addition to that, I know how to manage my time. I'll work a job like that and still hit the gym and still find the time to spend with my family. But that's just me. Everybody's different, man. Everybody is different. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this 12-hour shift, man. How do y'all feel about it? Are y'all open to working 12-hour shifts? Or do you try to avoid the 12-hour shifts like the plague? Let me know, man. Drop it in the comments. I'm curious to hear you guys' thoughts. The upkeep on this property and how they maintain it is impeccable. They keep it clean out here, man. I love that. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to come tap in real quick, drop this video. Let me know, man. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Until the next video, I'll catch y'all later, man. Peace.